Christmas we celebrate not an event, but a season which raises up hopes and expectations. It's at Christmas where we remember that God sent his Son into the world to become the center of human history, but more importantly, the center of our lives. And when Jesus becomes the center of our lives, it centers our life on something that is stable, on something that is hopeful, of something that gives us true meaning and purpose. Christmas is not the most wonderful time of the year because who is with us, celebrating with us, but Christmas is the most wonderful time of the year because who is for us, our Savior Jesus. As Christmas approaches, it might feel like it's actually getting a little darker, not a little lighter, a little more compressed, a little more complicated, a little more exaggerated. But at Christmas time, we can also change the way we see things. Let our focus stop and become not on all of those other things of what is happening or what will happen, but to stop and put our focus on what has happened and who is for us. In the beginning of John's Gospel, he lets us change our focus and bring our understanding to who Jesus is. This great light, a light that has overcome darkness. Let me read it to you in John's Gospel, chapter 1, verses 1 through 5. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning, and through him all things were made. Without him nothing was made that has been made. In him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. He introduces us and describes Jesus in the best way that he possibly can, and this is what he says. In him was life, and that life was light of all mankind. John goes straight to a description of Jesus that is way more expansive, an all-inclusive, eternal picture of hope and purpose that's found in Jesus, the light and the life of the world. This isn't just some guy from Nazareth born in Bethlehem. This isn't some person who's in the lineage of King David. This isn't someone, far bigger picture than a Jewish Messiah, although he was all of those things as well. John's trying to get the message out that Jesus came for everyone, all of mankind. He brought life and he brought light to everyone. And then he says these most magnificent hope-filled words in verse 5, where he says, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. You need to put some credit in the guy who's writing this. Not just because Jesus said, hey, John, would you look after my mom? You need to put some stock in the credit. This guy knows what darkness is like. The first century for Christians was as bad as you can expect it to be throughout human history. Millions of Jewish people were being murdered. Millions of Christians were sent to death. The Jews and the Christians and everybody in and around that time under the oppressive rule of the Roman Empire were sold into slavery, were kicked out of their homes, were fled to the furthest flung places so that they might be kept safe. John knows what darkness is like, and yet he still refers to Jesus as the light that overcomes. The life that brings light into the darkness. And a light that isn't able to be extinguished by that darkness. With all that's going on in the world at the moment, we're worried about petrol prices and energy prices and world conflict and security and safety and health and pandemics and all of the mix that is happening, and it feels like darkness is encroaching with all that is happening in the world, and the darkness that has tried to extinguish the light still overcomes darkness.